The first use case you think about blockchain is payments, right? So that's the first thing you want to do, is show that you can secure a payment mechanism just like Visa, MasterCard, but much more secure, without middlemen, take away the fees, offers economies of scale. So the more people use it, the cheaper it gets. The way we view the future of value in the long term, 3 to 5 to 10 years, we view layer 1 blockchains will essentially become like the new republics. These will be the new mechanisms where all the value is going to proliferate to. In the future, there'll be the layer 1 blockchain, there will be the mining market, there'll be the dApps, and there'll be tokens. So the lower you get in the stack, the lower risk you have, but the lower rewards. The highest risk reward will be on the layer 1 blockchain, because that's where all the value will flow up. But it's highest value, highest risk. We view layer 1 blockchains, which is Bitcoin, Syscoin, Ethereum, as court systems. They need to be combative to the external forces that we don't control, even in the software world. In the real world, like inflation, hyperinflation, wars, these systems need to be secure from that. And this is why we view Bitcoin as the gold standard for security and decentralization. What else does the world need? What else does the world cherish when you have something like Bitcoin? How can we extend that to something else where we can take advantage to build real world utility? This is where Ethereum comes in. For me, Ethereum is a gold standard for flexibility or general computation. We're trying to stick to the gold standards we know the world's going to cherish and develop on, and we put those two concepts together. And this is what Syscoin is.
What's up, y'all? Hotep Jesus. We back. Hope all is well. For anybody that's not familiar, I am
that Hotep Jesus do.
Shout out to my sponsor, Syscoin, best of Bitcoin, best of Ethereum, Syscoin. Go to hotepjesus.com, hit the Syscoin logo, fill out the form, and start building on one of the best blockchain technologies out there. They boast one of the highest transactions per second of all the blockchain technologies. We're talking about scalability, talking about the ability to handle dApps like no other. If you're looking to build the dApp, check out Syscoin. They are incentivized to help you out. hotepjesus.com/Syscoin, or hit the Syscoin logo on hotepjesus.com. Shout out to Jag and the whole team. Let's get into it. Patrick, let's get into it. All right. So where are we? Here we are, right here. Let's just go ahead, throw this up on the screen. Let's just jump right into it. It's late. I got shit to do tonight. House committee announces hearing at the FTX collapse featuring Bankman-Fried. You guys have heard a lot about this. The House Financial Services Committee will hold a hearing next month to investigate the collapse of top crypto exchange FTX. Now, if you haven't, you have to go watch my FTX video, and you have to watch my video the other day on the pilot program for the new digital dollar, or CBDC, Regulated Liability Network. Great for all my tech geeks as well. I'm working my way there. So some things I say in that video in regards to blockchain may sound a bit novice, and that's because I am a novice. Okay, so the funny thing is here we have Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is going to be one of the chairs. Patrick McHenry is a chair. The top lawmakers on the committee said in a statement that they expected disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried to appear before Congress. Will he make it? Will he make it? Type 1 in the chat if you don't think he'll make it to his appearance before Congress. Actually, let's just throw a poll up. Will SBF appear before Congress? Let's see what the people say. Okay, so unfortunately, this event is just one of many examples of cryptocurrency platforms that have collapsed just this past year. I believe this is a quote from Maxine Waters. The fall of FTX has posed tremendous harm to over 1 million users, many of whom were everyday people who invested their hard-earned savings into the FTX cryptocurrency exchange, only to watch it disappear within a matter of seconds. Okay, so McHenry said, oversight is one of Congress's most critical functions, and we must get to the bottom of this get to the bottom of this for FTX's customers and American people. It's essential that we hold bad actors accountable so responsible players can harness technology to build more inclusive financial systems, says McHenry. Right? Okay, cool. So that's that. The funny thing about Miss Maxine Waters being a part of this, as you saw from the thumbnail, it's a small club. We ain't in it. Here we have Maxine Waters posing with SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried. That's her right there. That is her right there. That's her. There she go. There she go. Maxine Waters with Sam Bankman-Fried. I want to say that's Joe. I want to say that's Joe, but it might not be. Hold on. Joe is his dad. His dad is Joe Bankman. Or is that that might be Joe. Is that Joe? Let's see. Okay, here's Joe. And then here's Joe. Is that Joe? I want to say that's his dad. Now his dad helped whatchamacallit, Pocahontas. He helped Pocahontas draw up legislation regarding tax legislation. So this family is closely intertwined with the Democratic Party. We've already covered how much money. He was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party. We've already covered that. My people that want to call in, I'm going to open up the line shortly. But anyway, let's go to the next article here. This is from Fox News. Maxine Waters dodges questions on FTX. Democrat ties and claims both sides got money. We're going to talk about why I believe they also funded Republicans. So let's see here. Let's go right to the juicy part. Let's not waste any time. Waters avoided reporter Hillary Vaughn's question. Do we have a video of that? No, I don't think we have a video of that. Maybe one will appear later. Question: when asked if Democrats who received campaign cash from FTX should give it back, saying, well, I don't want to get into that. As a matter of fact, both sides, Democrats and Republicans, have received donations, so thank you. The chairwoman of the House Financial Services Committee, however, did claim that lawmakers will be putting together a hearing to explore what exactly has taken place. There's going to be an investigation. I know they've implicated CZ and Binance into this. Founder of... Okay, so Sam Bankman-Fried was the second largest donor to the Democratic Party, behind only George Soros. Okay. But I want to talk about this one thing here, which he says Republicans also received donations, although the Republican donations were not as much. But I'm going to show you something. I've showed you this probably 10, 20 times already. Shout out to my people watching on Rumble. I appreciate you. We got 26 watching on Rumble. Appreciate you. Let me put this on the screen really fast. So you guys see me post this article. I talked about this last night. But again, what is the strategy? So the core strategy of Mind the Gap, this is Barbara's company, Barbara Fried's mom, SBF's mom. It says to hide candidates and groups it is backing until it's too late, so to speak, because Republicans closely watch Democratic donors to see which congressional races they are financing so they can mobilize their own donors to restore fundraising parity in a particular congressional district. So basically what happens is both sides can see who donates, right? Now, the next part of the trick is Democrats, well, the idea behind her strategy is to only send the money in the fall of an election season and sometimes all in the same day. And basically what this does, it doesn't give the Republicans enough chance to react, to counteract. So I thought about this, and since they're playing some tricks here, and I said, why would they donate to the Republicans? And it makes sense. That actually provides cover for the money going to the Democrats. Because if the Republicans notice that some money from FTX comes to Republican donors, people in some districts might not be alerted to how much money FTX has given to Democrats. So the money given to Republicans might be a cover, smokescreen for the money going to the Democrats. This is what I'm theorizing. Does that sound plausible? Does that make sense, chat? Chat, help me out. Does that make sense? You know, the other, it's hard to say who should be in the hearing for this. I don't think we can trust Maxine Waters in this hearing. Seems quite counterintuitive, considering the amount of money. Seems like a counterintuitive because of how much money is sent to the Democratic Party, quite frankly. Okay, so chat's saying, yeah, it makes sense. Long Tong Sun said, go deeper. Pause, no homo, first of all. Okay, let's go deeper. So if they're providing a smoke screen to Republican candidates, okay, so then another person in the chat said it could be hush money. Hey, look, this is going to Republican candidates. Don't say anything to. I can see that too. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely plausible. We can't trust all these GOP guys. Shout out to Svinstead. All I talk to no one in about this damn thing. What'd you say? All I talk to no one in know about this damn thing. I don't know what you said, man. You gotta put the drinks down. Oh my God. You know, one thing I can say about the Democrats is
we sick and tired of that nigga there.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and open up phone lines. And I have a way to do it now, so I don't dox you guys. Thank God. 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Let y'all come in here and chat with me. Tell me what you think about all of this. Let's put that right there. And then where's my Rumble people? And then for my Rumble people, in case you want to call in, 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't have any other notes left over. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Feel free to call in if you'd like to talk to me before I lay down and start my nighttime shift here in the Hotep Cave. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense that we have a Democrat on the chair, and it is bipartisan, I guess you can say, when you have excuse me, when you have a Republican on the chair and a Democrat on the chair.
Call from
H Dizzy.
Yo, you on the line with Hotep Jesus? What's up, man?
Yo, Hotep, what's good, my man?
What's good, Joe?
Yo, I just wanted to give you a big shout out. I appreciate everything you've been doing on these, keeping us up to date with all this crazy stuff going on, and especially, just focusing on the big brain stuff as you had pointed out, because I know that it may hurt the not get as much traction or whatever, but I think it's it's super important. And I guess the last thing I'll say is there's a quote from Muhammad Ali where he says that 10 people that know their purpose is more important than 100 people or 1,000 people that don't know their purpose. So even if it's hard to deal with the big brain content, it goes a long way in the long run. So I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. That means a hell of a lot, man. Because, it's one thing to do the content that gets clicks, but, I just want to make sure that we document what's been happening along the way. And we're keeping people privy to the happenings. Because this is the most important topic, and we've seen a lot of people aren't talking about it, and a lot of people were late. We reported on this FTX situation, because I'm in crypto Twitter too, so I hear about this stuff, and I was like, wow, politics Twitter has to hear about this, and most of them, got on the story this week, but then now we're on to the next one, right? And then I did the story on the 12-week pilot program, testing out the CBDC, the Regulated Liability Network. But yeah, big brain content. The funny thing is, a lot of people tell you, make content for your viewers and not content for yourself. And I get that. But sometimes I'm like, I can't really put my all into something unless I believe in it. So it's the big brain content that interests me, intrigues me, and gets me motivated. So a lot of times when it's small brain content, I don't even think to come to YouTube and talk about it. My brain doesn't even go, oh wow, let's go to YouTube. It doesn't even register. I kind of just scroll past it, and somebody has to text me and be like, yo, you need to talk about this. All right, I'll talk about it. Otherwise I'm looking for the big brain content. But I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you too. And I will say too that you were literally even at this point in time, I think it's been 24, 36 hours since they started that CBDC pilot program, and you're the only person I've seen that really delved into the paperwork that they put out on how it all works and everything. And you had that lady call in, so I guess the rest of the political pundits and everybody else are gonna have to catch up with Big Hotep.
It's the reason why the show is called Hotep's Been Told You.
Yes, sir.
You're an early adopter. Congratulations, sir, and I appreciate you. Hotep and Bill.
Yes, sir. You have a good one. Thanks, Hotep.
Bye, y'all. That's love right there. Appreciate you for calling in, man. I when I did my studies, I always like to go to primary sources. So when I saw the 12-week pilot program pop up, I think it was on Reuters, and then Reuters pointed to the press release, and I was like, okay, let me look at the press release. And then they mentioned this thing in the press release. They mentioned the technology, and I'm like, I never heard of this technology before. So I looked up the technology, and that's how I found the white paper on the technology. And I was in the Twitter space today with Wendy O, and the blockchain guys in there hadn't heard of the technology, so I put it on their desk as well.
Call from
Sketch there.
Sketch, you want to lie with Hotep? What up, man?
Hotep and Bill, how everybody doing? Hope you're good.
Yeah, life is good, man. Talk to me. What's up?
Well, I just jumped in. You already started with this, so I didn't know if you had a main question for all callers. But what I'm seeing here is problem, reaction, solution. looking at what Sunak is doing over there across the pond, and they're itching for excuses to lock down crypto and make a crypto they can monitor. That's what I'm seeing in all this.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Technically, you can't lock down crypto. You technically you can't. Instead, what they're resorting to is regulating crypto so that the only people who can sell it based upon KYC and using the dollar as a bridge, as an entry point into cryptocurrency, are the approved people, are the approved parties. And also they're going to have the CBDC, right? So what they're counting on to be the moat are people's emotions and people's fears. So they use something like this to be the moat to prevent people from entering or to be cautious about entering the crypto world. But technically they can't do anything about it because it's all anonymous. It's all anonymous and it's all private.
About the way that they're like the show they're making for the people, like aside from the technical stuff that most people are not going to get, right? What they're going to do is they're going to have like a little show trial, right?
Yes.
And what I think is going to happen, they're going to do whatever they wanted to do anyway. I bet they have all the solutions for the problem before they had the problem.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They already had these. They're going to come out with a 1,000-page, report on what they had to do and how they got to do it. And there's no way they could have written in a day or two since this went off.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So they already. This like when you see all these big problems, they got 2,000-page solutions that they couldn't have possibly, just pulled out in a day or two.
Correct.
So that's the way I'm kind of seeing it. As for the trials, they already had this guy testifying. This guy already been over there.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
I mean, it's how many times are they going to go up there? Because it's literally a show trial. Because how many times you have these people lying to Congress, lying to these people, and they don't go to jail. They don't pay any consequences. They maybe pay some fines.
Yeah.
But you know what regulation does? Regulation takes away liability. So as long as you pay the bribe, everything is fine. It's just a fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
So
exactly it.
that's what I think is going to happen. There's going to be a little show trial. They're going to talk very angrily, maybe even say some cuss words. Oh, my God. Because they've done that, too.
Yep.
But in the end, nobody's going to go to jail. What happened in 2008? Did anybody go to jail? Maybe one person? Maybe? I don't know.
Right. Banks got bailed out.
What
People
happened
got sold
with,
out.
Miss Ghislaine, she's only people in jail for trafficking anybody. Trafficking people to who? Where's that list? Nobody knows.
To ghosts.
Trafficking people to no, but okay, she did it? Yeah, she definitely did it. We put her in the jail for doing it? Yeah, she's in jail doing it. She took them to who? Nobody knows.
Right.
Because it's a show. And they're going to do a show. And, as far as the money, when you put money like that on both sides, if who she trafficked people to? The same people that are going to flip on this.
Mm.
The same people that are going to be like, I think that I'm going to go with the Democrats on this.
Mm-hmm.
You better. That client list is going to show up.
Yep. Yeah. You
That's
nailed it.
what's going to happen.
You nailed
And
it.
those millions, maybe some people that you couldn't incriminate, well, them you could buy. And then you have 2 or 3 or 4 flip.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, they have decided that they had their show trial. Everybody was very angry, very publicly angry. But in the end, no consequences. And what they do is they pull out the dust off that plan they've had for a long time. And say, yeah, this is the solution that we just came up with, but, has been around here for 3 or 4 years if you really look into it. That's what I think's going to happen.
I have the March 9th on the screen right now. We have the March 9th executive order by Joseph Rahim Biden. Executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital assets. And then they follow that up with a fact sheet. White House releases first ever comprehensive framework for responsible development of digital assets. This is September 16th. If you follow, I reported on this at metavoider.com. I wrote a couple of blogs on this. One of them was the Biden coin. The other one was Project Hamilton. But yes, correct. You're right. They did lay down the groundwork for this. So
Now,
the trial,
when the trial, be another coin above all these, like
what?
a coin the coin for trading internationally, like one coin to rule them all.
Well, right now they have the USDC, which is technically a CBDC. So it's already here. It's called USDC. You can trade it on
Okay, but
Binance.
isn't the UK making their own that type of coin?
Yes. The
Okay.
GBP was it Great Britain's pound or something like that? Yeah. So in fact, the RLN, here, let me put that on the screen right now and I'll show you. Here. Okay. So this regulated liability network by Tony McLaughlin. When you read the paper, it is actually designed, or initially, I believe one of the first tests was for Great Britain. Okay, it's not here. I'll pull up the PDF. Hold on, let me get the PDF up, and then I'll put that on the screen.
They kicked out Liz Truss, and the new guy, the first thing he did was that.
What's that?
Rishi Sunak, they had sometimes I watch some news from across the pond.
Yeah.
And there's the first thing that the new guy did. They had a lady called Liz Truss. People didn't trust her, which is understandable. She was in with a lot of the same people. Mm-hmm. But so was the guy they put in. But one of the first things the new guy they started to put in is put in this kind of crypto pound, British pound.
Yeah.
So that's one of his main agendas. He's talking about giving like ecological reparations. Mm-hmm. And they're talking about, doing all this and having some crypto. I think they're just trying to make one for each nation. And I think, I don't know, they're going to have some kind of Bank of International Settlements coin or something like that.
So that's what this RLN technology is about. So two things to touch on what you said. It says, for example, if a commercial bank issues a token for GPB, which is actually a typo, it's GBP. That token represents commercial bank money in GBP, a promise to deliver GBP. So it's talking about the Bank of England in this paper. This is the white paper for the technology. So you are correct. And then when you talk about international settlements, et cetera, this RLN could definitely operate like a SWIFT banking system, et cetera. And in this white paper, they call them partitions. And a central bank could be one of the partition operators. So you could have the Central Bank of England, you could have the Federal Reserve, and they'd all be different partition operators or owners. I'm not really sure what the difference in that is.
China already has one.
Oh, yeah, China has one. Who else has one? Is it Jamaica? I think Jamaica has one. There's an African, I think Nigeria has one. I can't remember. I think Brazil has one.
Russia could use this war to put one in if they don't already have one.
India has one. Russia invested here. I'll pull up the Russian one. I did that article early this year. I did the Russia one. They created their own coin. Russia did. Here, let me show you. And this was to accept Bitcoin for oil. Hold on, I'll put this on the screen right now. Let me just switch the source back. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, where is it? No, it might not be this article. Maybe it's, hold on. Oh, wait, is it this one?
Sounds like a poem of the One Ring, but one coin.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, Spurbank. And what's this one? Okay, so Russia sought to ban cryptocurrency outright. The central bank claimed they were a threat to financial stability. However, after Sberbank, Russia's largest lender, lost more than 95% of its value following Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Russia changed its mind. Russia essentially, Sberbank said it would allow Russian firms to invest their currently idle funds to generate income. This is according to Fortune.com, and they said Sberbank says their digital assets platform will allow companies to issue their own DFAs, proving the cash requirements, which will enable them.
It's turning out to be real convenient for everybody.
Yeah, hold on one second. Which will enable them to track market investments, acquire DFAs. I think this is digital financial assets. DFA stands for issued through the Spur bank, make other DFA transactions. So it says companies will be able to make their first transaction on our blockchain platform 1 month from now. We are starting to work with digital assets, realizing that further development requires adaptation. So yeah, Russia has already started working on this. I reported on that earlier this year. Ukraine's president signed the virtual assets bill on March 16. And don't forget that on March 9th, Biden signed his executive order on cryptocurrency assets. And then March 16th, Ukraine does theirs. So it seems like a lot of this stuff is happening sequentially.
It turns out that that war was really convenient as an excuse to get everybody to tell their population, we got to do this.
Yeah. And if you look here, you'll see on metavorta.com, we reported right here, Aid for Ukraine has received more than 48 million in crypto. Aid for Ukraine is a crypto donation platform that is partnered with, and it says right here, FTX. So we reported on this a while back when this happened. This was written by...
Well, that's the old saying, Hotep's been told you.
Yeah. Yeah, we put this out there in the public, and that's the stuff. Like I said before, this stuff doesn't get a lot of clicks until shit hits the fan. Then all of a sudden, everybody's paying attention.
Well, they should have been paying attention, but I'm glad that they are now. Mm-hmm. But it's like last time we spoke, we talked about if you know the method, you see the pattern, you know what's coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the pattern I'm seeing is like they want to do a big change in banking. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm seeing. Mm. And it's like when the euro started, a lot of people got the euro. It's like it used to be. I don't know what it is right now, but it used to be like 137, and the pound was 137 on the dollar. They were a little higher, but when before it went up, it was super low. It was like 36 or something, 0.36. It was like super low before it just went up.
Okay.
So I don't know how and when it's going to go up, or when these cryptos are going to like come online as like these central banker cryptos. But when they do, there's a lot of people going to make a lot of money, but there's going to be a lot of control for the regular people.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about, control. It's right there in the paper, the RLN paper, Regulated Liability Network. Keyword regulated.
That's why I don't think there's really going to be this big nuclear war. I think that's the big scare they want.
It's a distraction. It's a distraction from the big thing coming. Yeah. Hey man, appreciate you calling in. Let me get some more people in here.
Hotep and Bill, thanks for having me.
Hotep and Bill, bro. 925, you can call back. Calling number 202-596. 5631 202-596-5631. Somebody asked, how do you wash your Bitcoin? They got this thing called a mixer. And depending on what wallet software you have, you can basically use the mixer and it'll mix Bitcoin, and it just mixes Bitcoin with several other thousand people. Or hundreds of thousands of people. I'm not really sure. It depends on how many people are in that pool. But basically just takes your Bitcoin, splits it up into fragments, and sends it all over the place, and makes it hard to track. One thing I would say about your Bitcoin, you can create new addresses for the same wallet. So You know, if you receive a large sum from somebody and you send it to a particular address, you technically don't have to send it from that address. You can receive it in one address and send it out through another address and make this stuff really hard to track. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Let's see here. Somebody said we should start our own mining farm. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool, I guess. Shout out to my super chatters, David Ziantara paying his tuition. Appreciate you, bro. H. Diz, he said the crypto war versus CBDC war is more important than all wars. Oh man. You nailed it right there, bro. Exactly. That's exactly it. Simply because the monetary system is the base layer which funds all other wars, control, and coercion. Have you been reading my book, The Patriot Report, Unmasking the Conspiracy of Money and War, available on Amazon? Have you been reading that? Did you read that? Because that's exactly what my book is about. Unmasking the conspiracy of money and war. You cannot decouple those two. Where there's money, there is war. And where there's war, there's money. So if you follow the money, you will find the war. If you follow the war, you will find the money. But yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the most important war happening right now. And it's going to be a war that's going to continue for a really long time. Really long time. I mean, we're talking at least another age. If an alien invasion or, you know, some rock doesn't come and just end this story, we're talking about another age of, I mean, when we talk about the bifurcation of society, the sovereign from the sheep. I like that. Let me type that into Twitter. Sovereign versus the sheep. And I'm going to have to use the sheep emoji on that. Because that's what it comes down to. You know, the sheep, they will be happy with their CBDC. They will be happy with their CBDC. They will be happy being somebody's play toy. Somebody else's cattle, somebody else's property. They'll beg for it just like they begged for the different precautionary measures during the last pandemic. They'll ask for it. Meanwhile, the rest of us will be running around with jailbroken smartphone devices. We'll be using end-to-end encryption, chat apps, end-to-end encryption. In fact, when we start communicating, it'll be very much like Poll, where you'll just be communicating with other entities almost anonymously. You just be communicating with an ID number. It's going to be very much like Poll, so you'll be anonymous. People will know you based upon your ID number. And we'll be transacting in crypto assets. And to be sovereign, you'll have to be a geek, so to speak. Knowledge is power. So in order to be sovereign, you will need to be knowledgeable. You need to know about cryptocurrency if you want to be free. And those who think that they're going to hoard gold and gold is going to save them, best of luck to them. I wish them all the best. They're better off buying guns and ammo. Let me end the poll here. I forgot to do that last time I came online. Poll here says 56% says no, 24% says yes, 18% says not sure. I think the kid's gonna make it to the congressional hearing only because I believe that the FTX fiasco was the Reichstag burning. So therefore, they're going to need him to be the first domino. The real big question is, will he actually be found guilty? Will he do any time? Or will he get a slap on the wrist? SPF didn't kill himself. Big Poppy said, is it true that Nigeria introduced its own CBDC and not many used it and it failed? I'm not exactly sure about the adoption of the CBDC. I do believe Nigeria does have a CBDC. Let me go check that. And that's been in implementation for a while. Okay, so Bloomberg, I see the story you're talking about here. Let's pull this up on the screen. Digital currency plan falters as Nigerians define on crypto. Less than 0.5% of Nigerians are using the digital currency. Government action required to make success of the e-Naira. Is this one of those paid situations where you gotta pay to like read the article? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I think that's what's going on here now. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Let's try this one. Shout out to Jordan Finisheth. Okay, so Nigeria rejects the countries. All right, so let's see what happened. CBDC's popular discussion. Nigeria made headlines, became one of the first countries to launch a CBDC, the e-Naira. It was touted as the way to bring banking to all citizens of the African nation. Adoption of Naira is not going according to plan. 0.5% of the population, 217 million citizens. Population in Nigeria is considered to be the most crypto savvy of the African continent, with the nation ranking as the top country in Africa for crypto adoption and 11th globally. More than a third of the Nigerian population between the ages of 18 and 60 reported owning or trading cryptos in 2022. That I know to be true. Bloomberg cited confusion as one of the main barriers to adoption as lack of clarity from the government, which banned banks from servicing crypto exchanges in February 2021, has left citizens unsure of the legality of e-Naira. So, okay, so what they're basically saying is that citizens will look at the e-Naira and like, wait, is this even legal? I don't even touching this. Or this could be a situation where the citizens of Nigeria are so crypto savvy that they know better. And Nigerians are very intelligent people. Why is it asking us to collect e-Naira? Said 23-year-old driver Hamed Lawan. I thought the government said cryptocurrency is bad. Nigerians got a lot of sarcasm with him too. Nigerians got a lot of sarcasm with him too. Yeah, they said, oh, cryptocurrency is bad. Wait, but use our cryptocurrency. Exactly. The crux of the challenge centers around education. The government and central bank have struggled to educate Nigerians about the CBDC and explain how it's different from cryptos they're familiar with, like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Central banks from around the world are closely monitoring the progress of the e-Naira. So it's like, yeah, we're going to put this on the Africans and see what this CBDC does and how the Africans, it's sort of like a test market. If you guys know anything about marketing or entrepreneurship or starting a business, sometimes you put things in a test market, see how to do. So yeah, exactly. So of course Africa's a test market. I'm sure Bill Gates knows a lot about that.
Do you know what my pronouns are? I wish I would.
Was that too loud? I'll have to fix that sound. I'm sorry. Big Poppy was on to something when he brought this up. So yeah, that's the latest on Nigeria. My heart goes out to the Nigerian people. All of the Nigerian people continue to reject the CBDC. And think about that. The government tells you, oh, yeah, cryptocurrency is bad. But wait, but not this cryptocurrency. Yeah, okay. You got it. I wonder who's pressuring the Nigerian government. I wonder what bank is senior director at Atlantic Council's Geoeconomic Center. Who else is involved? Who's pushing this? That's what I'd like to see. The E-NARA does not address any of the basic use cases, so no surprise. According to the director at Renaissance Capital. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to see. We shall see. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all, Hotep and Bill. Tomorrow night, we have released Uncle Hotep from suspension, so Uncle Hotep will be back. For Hotep's been told you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We got Scott Horton coming on Friday night. And Lord Miles coming on next Tuesday. So a bunch of great things happening as far as that's concerned. Also, my audio podcast is definitely kicked into gear. I have a bunch of great episodes already published and out, and I've been updating that throughout the weeks. So if you want to hear all of the great conversations I've had with some of the best minds in the world, you can go to hotepjesus.com/podcast. That's hotepjesus.com/podcast and listen to my podcast on your favorite platform, whether it be Spotify or Apple. I'm out of here.